What's up, bro? Sit on down. We're about to kick off this shit show. Hope you brought your galoshes. Welcome to the shit show. Alright, my name's Jake Englander. How are we feeling tonight? Woo! Hell yeah. All 7 of you are feeling good. That's what's up. Good shit. I know I got a weird look. I look a little bit like the Joker. Kind of look like Heath back off the ledger. I used to look a lot like Macaulay Culkin, especially as a kid. People used to call me Home Alone at Jewish summer camp. And I would, they'd be like, do the face. You know, and they'd make me do the face. Those gangs of girls are vicious, you know? They're like, do it. I'm like, fine. You know, I looked a lot like him. And because of shared poor life choices that both he and I have made, I still look extremely like Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, but I like that compliment way more growing up. So I'm in the alphabet soup community. I'm bi. What do you call a gay piece of bread? A faggot. It's cool, we can say it. That's my N-word. My dad's looking at me like, this is gonna be an awkward car ride home. He hates this sort of crass, puerile, immature shit. It's exactly the kind of stuff that, I don't know, that makes me the black sheep of the family, the Jewish sheep of the family. Imagine a Jewish sheep like, oh, it's too expensive to get all this wool. I'll just be there. You guys hear the one about the Jewish firefighters? They pull up and they're at the scene and it's playing like Hava Nagila, the siren. It's like and they're starting to spray the water, right? And they're putting out the fire, and the chief comes out. He's like, what the hell are you doing, Mortimer? And he's like, I'm putting out the water, chief. I'm putting out the fire, chief. He's like, with water? Do you know how expensive that is? He's like, well, how else? I don't care how else. You don't have to do the budgets. Oh shit! What if there was like a Jew in the Empire who worked for Darth Vader, who was like upset about the rising costs of blasters? He's like, think about how many lasers we waste every battle. Stormtroopers suck at shooting. Think about per laser how much money we're wasting. Darth Vader just force chokes him to death. Quiet Jew. Speaking of the Force, it's weird that none of the Sith are, they're bad, but they're, for a Force evil protagonist, you'd think they're always saying, like, use the Force. They don't use Force on women, at least, you know? They're never like, use Force, Anakin, you know? They can't say no or something. What if the Emperor was, I like how old the Emperor is. I'm just gonna riff about Star Wars for a little bit. I got a lot of autism-related Star Wars stuff stored up from the vaccine. Get that Johnson & Johnson vaccine, watch the Star Wars marathon. Gives me a whole new set. So the Emperor, I like to imagine that he's got a pair of khakis on under the robe. He's so geriatric. You guys think he's got orthopedic shape-ups on too? And like just the robe's long enough to cover that shit. He like makes Darth Vader like get him those little foot massagers. He's always making him change the batteries on them. Oh shit. Then I've been thinking about Darth Maul, the apprentice guy. That was the only athletic Sith. The rest of them are old as fuck. This guy's doing backflips and stuff. The double-sided lightsaber. What if his penis was double-sided? You ever think about that?
No. Never thought of that.
Never thought of that, Dad?
No, not even one time.
A double-sided red penis.
I guess that's why we have you, to think of things like that.
He's so proud of me. Really, I've done great things. It was worth all the money he put into my education. That's one thing Jews like. We love educating, and we love complaining. These are some of our things that we do. We love putting pressure on our kids. I feel like Asians and Jews, the reason you always see Jewish man marrying Asian woman is because they had the same parental traumas growing up. You know, like you both have the same like helicopter parent, and it's like then you can bond about that for the rest of the marriage. You'd be like, my mom was worse. No, my mom was worse. You know? I was abused worse. Oh, shit.
Totally.
Yeah. My buddy Asher is living that in New York, Dad.
True.
That's where I came up with that. There's a lot of examples of that bit. Yeah, other stuff. I was talking about Star Wars. Let's do racism in Star Wars is pretty interesting. For a universe that has almost no black people, it's a pretty racist universe, you know? The only black guy that they do have, they were like, let's give him a grape soda lightsaber. You know? It's like, come on, you didn't have to do him like we're talking about Samuel L. Jackson. He's in everything, and we did him so dirty. Like, unbelievable. That's crazy. And then Jar Jar Binks is just a stereotype of like Caribbeans. He's just like, you know, Qui-Gon is like, shut up, Jar Jar, you're making me crazy right now. And he's like, okay, Dad, or whatever. You know, George Lucas, his wife is African American. Can you imagine dinner after The Phantom Menace came out? He's like, George, what the fuck was that shit? Are you fucking serious? Jar Jar? Motherfucking Jar Jar? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. Just this big black woman whooping this little nebbishy ass. You are sleeping on the goddamn couch forever, George. Oh, shit. Let's see, other Star Wars stuff. Speaking of the Phantom Menace, you got the Trade Federation. Anybody remember those people? They're green. I always felt like that was a stereotype of Asian people. Like, they always had them talk kind of Japanese, and they're like, Nobota Goba,
Yeah.
Nobotobo. It's like, that's not gonna age well, you know? Like, we're all gonna grow up in 15 years and realize this is thinly veiled racism, you know, written after George Lucas being worried that the Japanese were gonna take over our economy, you know? He lived through the 90s,
Totally.
and then that was just living rent-free in his head, and then that just got into his character types. Straight up. I mean, the new Star Wars is crazy. Like, she goes to, first of all, female Jedi. Can they do that? Are we sure that's cool? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a monster. I only didn't like them because they were bad. I didn't like them because of the progress that they made. Yeah, so, you know, I think that it was pretty funny that they were like, you know, we're gonna have, it was sort of a Hillary Clinton kind of victory. They were like, we're gonna have a white woman be our last Jedi hope. She's gonna take over. And then meanwhile, there's like African American people who could step up. Like that guy Finn just totally could have been the Jedi, right? Like that never made sense to me. He seemed way cooler. They, you know, all these guys, all these English actors went to the same British prep schools and all got molested by the same teachers.
Wow.
I spent a lot of time on Wikipedia researching this.
Yeah.
And like,
Think what you could have been doing with
I
that
know, marijuana-based Googling, you know, like hours I waste. It's just,
time.
at least if I really had autism, there would be some sympathy. But I'm just doing it to myself. I'm just getting belligerently high and then only focusing on what's interesting to me. So I have only myself to blame and marijuana. It's tough. The other Star Wars thing to think about, she gets to the place where she's supposed to get her lightsaber, and like all the other movies you have a Jedi be like, here's your Jedi training. She just gets to a Chinese pawn shop, and the woman is like, oh, you have big future, you know? Lightsaber in basement, $3. It's like, seriously? How is this progress? Like, this seems way worse. I don't get it. Oh, shit. Speaking of things that don't make sense to me, you can't call trans people trannies anymore. And it's like tranny, trans, it's like one letter away. It would be like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I just call them the Dixie Chicks now. And they're offended by that too, and you can't win. Can't keep a good Jew down. Catch 22. I got a million of these. The other Jew joke I've been thinking about is a moil. This is a profession that exists only to circumcise Jewish babies. He goes, he's talking to a rabbi. A rabbi asks him, "How much do you make?" And he goes, "Well, you know, I just keep the tips." All right, with that gross note, I'm going to pass this mic to someone else. Thank you, Jim.